We should have been recording that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, hey guys,
Hello.
welcome to I was gonna say Sassy Stables.
All right, start over.
Okay.
Fuck, already start over.
Surviving and spilling. I have the Ashley Nicole. with me.
Hello.
So we're just gonna I feel like we've been going kind of through the same things,
Yeah,
and we're just gonna talk about it.
let's do it.
We're just gonna talk about it. This is gonna be a fun one. I'm excited. So, starting off, I think that I kind of was like, is there anything that we don't need to talk about? Because there's so fucking much.
Yeah, but you know me. I'm kind of like, let's just talk about everything.
Let's
And
figure it
sorry
out.
for my coffee breath.
Girl,
You
As in
know,
second one, you got me?
I'm not really one to like be really private. People tell me often, "Oh, you're such an open book."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That can be a positive and that can be a negative, because as a business owner, a lot of people don't want to know the dirt on the
Right.
people, but like we're human too.
Right. I get
So.
that. I'm very I get into mindsets where I'm like I really want to say this, but I'm like, oh, hold on. Like, I own a business. I shouldn't say this. And then some days I'm just like, actually, I don't give a fuck. Like, it is what it is, and you
Yeah.
deserve to be put in your place.
I don't like that. I don't like that we're kind of kept in a box because of that.
Yes.
Like,
Very much so.
So what? Because we're business owners, we aren't treated like this, or we shouldn't tell people that we've been treated like this.
I feel like it kind of goes the same with being like a mom too, though. Like, if you think about it, I feel like when you become a mom, it's kind of like, oh, well, I shouldn't go out, or oh, I shouldn't be caught with a drink in my hand. I shouldn't do this, but I'm like, I'm also I am Tyra. Yes, I am a mom, and when I have my kids, I'm gonna conduct myself as a mom.
Right.
But I'm still me, and I still like to have fun. I still like to go out. I like to twerk, and I like to drink.
Right.
I like to have my moments.
You're legally old enough to do that.
Right.
So who is it that stops you from that?
Exactly.
Somebody else's opinion of you? Because if we're worried about other people's opinion, then let's just shoot straight. They don't really know what's going on.
Right.
They don't know what's going on behind closed doors and what we're going through. You know, I posted something this morning and you saw it. People will be like, she is so rude. Actually, I'm not rude. I just have boundaries, and once you cross them, yeah. I'm readjusting, you know.
I get that. I think a lot of times people are just they're like, oh, she's hot-headed, or oh, she's a bitch. No, I'm just not going to let you walk over me.
Right.
I'm so sorry that you're used to being around people that are going to accept that and let you think that you're not the problem, but you are.
Yeah. You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
The whole, it's not me. It's not you. It's me. No, it's you.
It's you.
It's you. You're the problem.
Yeah.
Be accountable.
Yeah. And I mean, people say okay, for example, you perceive things different.
Right.
So how someone speaks to you, people will say, well, that's a perception of you. That's true in a certain sense.
Right.
My mother growing up would make the comment to me, and I know this is a problem. It's not what you say, Ashley. It's how you say it.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one before?
Oh, all my life.
Yeah, me too. So I've even heard that, you know, in my marriage, the way you say things is so rude. It's not intended that way.
Right.
It's just, I'm a very direct person.
Right.
And if I'm feeling frustrated about something that you've said, my answer is going to be frustrating.
Right.
So
I get that.
I struggle with that.
Well, I mean, but at the same time, I personally don't want to be around somebody that's going to sugarcoat it. Or they hold on to it, and then 5 weeks later, they're like, oh, well, I didn't appreciate it when you... Well, then why didn't we touch base on this then? Because if I have a problem with something, I'm going to let you know right then, and we're going to fix it right then, or we're going to discuss it right then. I feel like it's more unfair if I sit here and I wait to bring it up. Because you're not in that moment.
Because they've had time to think about it, but you haven't had time to think about it. So when they're calm and bring it back to you, it's almost like an
I don't
attack.
even remember it.
Right.
What do you mean?
I just recently had that happen with a person that had removed me from social media, and I was like, whoa, what, you blocked me?
Right.
Did I miss something? Because last time I knew we were eating together. I brought you food, we were chatting, everything was great. And then so whenever I talked to the person or sent a message to the person, they were like, well, I just wanted to come to you and be real, but no,
but you didn't come to me,
come
and you
to
wasn't
me
because you went to Facebook. I think that's the biggest thing. My mom is really big on that too, and some people are like, oh, social media isn't that big of a thing, and I'm like, it's not, but it is.
It is a way of saying we're no longer friends.
Right. If you have to go and you have to type in my name and you have to hit the button and hit unfriend. Like, that was a very thought out process. And in that moment, you could have just reached out to me and we probably could have resolved it right there.
Yes.
Like, we're not
I'm
5.
the type of person that, like, if I've done something to hurt you and you come to me and sit down with me without your claws,
right,
I'm gonna bring coffee,
right,
and we're gonna gossip about everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's really that simple. Okay.
Yeah.
So
now
we got that out of the way.
Yeah. So glad we had that talk.
I'm glad we're breaking away. It's getting easier. So I think one of our biggest things was, and I think the name of this podcast is going to be, what is it? You came up with it. I need you. Go ahead. Do your spill.
50th time's a charm, right?
Right. I said I feel like it's been more like 100.
Yeah.
And it still isn't the charm.
No charm.
There's no charm. It's just
still no charm.
We're just repeating ourselves.
I think the charm might have been the first time, and then like the rest of them.
After that's been like great value.
Yeah.
Like not even great value. Like really just gas station. Like there's no getting better.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it's hopeful, and we'll go into that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a narcissistic thing. Like, here, let me give you all of this right now for this moment to get you where I need to, and then let me drop you on your ass.
Because it's going to get me where I need to go.
Right. I mean, it's going to get me what I want out of the situation at the moment.
Yeah. if you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship, and you will know this 5,000%. So here's a good one. I'm not going to give you any type of affection for at least a week. Unless things are good.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That week is going to be bliss.
So
I'm
amazing.
talking flowers, cards, candies, I love yous, phone calls.
Yep.
The day after that happens,
it's gone.
It's gone. Ball drops. You're not.
Oh, I'm in there. I still have that. I still have that tie to you. I still have that hold on you.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm in there.
I got what I want.
And now you're a bitch still.
Oh yeah.
What? Like,
yeah.
So you love me, only want me. You got what you needed. Now I'm just. In my case, now I'm just a fat bitch again that ain't got nothing going for it. What? Bro? Yeah. What? Okay. Bet. Like, okay.
Have you heard all the things, all of your insecurities, like spread out on the table and just smashed into your face? Like, because every single time something happens, it's everything you've ever came to them and said, I don't like the way my eyes look. I hate that my bottom teeth are crooked. I hate that my legs are fat.
Yep.
It's you fat-legged, crooked tooth. Yes.
You oddie body bitch. You, like, I swear, I shit you not. I think we're using my phone to record. If I could read you a text message I got in the last 24 hours, mind blown. Like, what are we doing here? Like, at the time, I sometimes
if you typed in bitch into your search in your iMessage, how many times would you see it?
I have messages
from the same person.
I have messages going all the way back to like 2020 on this phone alone.
We don't delete nothing.
Whew, let me tell you.
I tell everybody all the time, I'm like, you need screenshots, boo, because I haven't deleted anything out of this phone since I got it.
Girl, it's going back some years.
That's right.
And I did an instant transfer, so we're going back even further than that. You know what I mean? Like, it's word for word. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. So bad. You said that. My thing is that, and the women that I brought up that was like, hey, I'm sensing a little something here. I don't know. I don't really feel, all that great about this. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I just saw so-and-so with so-and-so. And I'm like, that's funny. Because I remember on this day at this time, I brought up this person in this conversation. And I was told, oh my God, she's fucking disgusting. She's a junkie. She's this, she's that. Well, clearly that's your fucking type when it ain't me.
Yeah, well, I can honestly say I am kind of blessed. I mean, in the narcissistic relationship life, that I've not really had the whole cheating side of things.
That's
awesome. Too bad. Not too bad.
Right.
There was the girl from
right.
Yeah. But and she and I are actually cool now. She's like one of my favorite people.
There you
love
go.
her. Shout out. You know who you are.
I love when that happens. You're like, hey,
full circle,
girl. I've been there. So it's funny that you say that, because I've been in situations where I was like, okay, well, like, fuck you. This is the situation, and I'm gonna come to you, and like, this is what it is on my end. What is it on your end? And then we're like this.
Yeah,
we're like that now. Some of that has came back to bite me in my ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've had a few times that's happened. Now my prior marriage was total cheat. Love him to death though.
Right.
Shout out to you too.
Shout out to you too. But it is what it is. It's the truth, and it's our story. And we're allowed to tell it.
Our truth. Yes. So we have that right.
And mine, personally speaking, from my my first child's father, because I honestly don't give a fuck about how either one of them feel. My first child's father, best friend.
How many do you have?
I have 2 children.
Okay.
I have 2 baby daddies.
Okay.
So my first one, I was with for 4 years, and he wasn't a good person, but like I would say he was my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only person, for the most part, that I feel like I could say anything to, I could do anything around, and there was absolutely no judgment at all. There was no judgment on the table. Like I could just say like, hey, I just did some crazy off the wall shit, and he'd be like, that's wild.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Okay, we're moving past it. Like it was over. Like it was nothing. He was addicted to drugs though. So that was like the only, like that was the killer there.
So you have the narcissist that's addicted. Well, I guess. Okay.
So he wasn't even, I don't even really feel like he was narcissistic.
Oh, okay.
He was just
he was just
a drug addict.
Okay.
And I was 18, got pregnant with my daughter, and I was just like, okay, like we can't keep doing this. He did end up becoming abusive, but he was abusive after he got on like hard drugs. Like it started off, and now let me say, all drugs are bad. All drugs are bad. I do feel like there is a difference though between weed and pills. You know, like there's a difference there.
Yeah.
Then there's
the way that it like reacts to your body difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like
okay.
I feel like now like legalize weed all day. We're cool there. Do I think that you should do pills? No. Do I think doing a pill is better than doing heroin? Yes. So like I feel like it's all bad, but I feel like there's levels between it, if that makes sense. And that could just be a trauma response of mine too, because like I saw like, oh, whenever he did this drug, he was happy and he was cool. And it was a problem, but it wasn't that big of a problem as to when he started doing.
This is kind of interesting. Because let me say, like, I'm not opposed to people that smoke marijuana.
Right.
But people that it is the control of their everyday.
And you even got like that with weed. Like before you go into Walmart, you have to sit there and smoke in the car. That's crazy. Just get the fuck up and go in the damn store. Like we would have been in there for 5 minutes.
We would be walking in the church house and he'd be hitting it on the way in, and I would be like, if you hit that again in this parking lot, I swear I will not walk in here.
Our kid, Hazley, would cry, and his nerves were so bad. Like if she's crying because she needs her diaper changed, he has to go outside and smoke. And I'm like, change a fucking diaper. So like that's where we ended up having problems.
Anxiety. And people, does he have ADHD?
Oh, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
They say that people with ADHD that self-medicate with marijuana actually can almost make it worse.
Right. I could see that.
Yeah.
He ended up making it to where like he would get mad, like we would argue and he would throw up because his nerves were so bad. And I mean, like, this wasn't like, we're not arguing, like this is just like back and forth, just bickering, like, oh, you're a bitch, blah, 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 whatever. And like he would literally get sick off of it.
I've never heard of that.
And I'm like, chill. Like it was a lot. But like he also would walk in a snowstorm down to the store to get me stuff to make when it snows, snow cream. Like just little shit like he was very sweet, but he had a drug addiction. And it ended up getting so bad like very fast. Anyway, and I never expected it to go that bad. But that's what our thing was. So then me 2 weeks later, I am at a birthday party with my child. I went to see a friend. It was her kid's birthday party. And I met my second baby daddy.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. And I get pregnant the first time that we sleep together.
Great. That's always really fun.
Because I seem like somebody he could have a family with. Make that make sense.
And you were like, yes.
I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? What? But then, and then I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, oh, shit. So at that point, I was like totally against like abortion. I had like I was against it. And then in that moment, I was like, oh, fuck. Am I against abortions? You know, like, am I against this? Because this is not what I planned.
Now that you actually need it or want it, I
was like, so I explored all the options, whatever. Obviously, I still have my daughter. But it was just a lot. And that should have been my first red flag right then. Like, oh, this man's fucking crazy. But at that point, I was getting out of a situation of, and I feel like this ties into like the circle. This is going to make sense. It's going to tie back into the circle of why things last so fucking long. But I had just gotten out of a relationship where I had my first child that I wanted a life for, that I felt like was taken away from me. And then I get in this situation. I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to have 2 kids.
Now I have to be serious.
Yeah, like I need to make this work. I don't like, I grew up without my real dad in the home. And so I'm like, okay, like I wanted that for my kid. I wanted it for
Do
my
you
first
feel
kid.
like that is why you have had the narcissistic or man issues that you've had is because of the absence of your father?
I don't feel like it is I feel like it's made me accepting
Okay.
to things.
Because my dad and my mom have been in my life and they're still married for like 40 something years and I never had that. But yeah, I'm like almost as bad as you are. Not worse.
Like,
so I'm like trying to I'm trying to figure out where my child trauma
like,
is.
Where's this coming from? No, like I felt like it made me more accepting and more forgiving because I was trying to make it work.
Was it you were trying to make it work or that you were aiming to be accepted and loved and wanted?
He's never accepted me for me. It's always like, you can't do this, you can't be this. Meanwhile, this motherfucker has more problems than I do. I can't go out and dance.
He was like always trying to change you.
Yes, like fit me into this box of, and this is going to sound real rude. Maybe I honestly don't care. It is what it is.
We talk shit.
It's always like, okay, like, well, you're not being a real woman. How do you know what a real woman is? Because your mama wasn't in your life. She was on drugs. So who are you comparing me to?
Yeah.
Who are you comparing me to?
Who's the person that I need to look up to?
Right. Like, who are you trying to compare me to?
Who was the female in his life? Because I hear the narcissist, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear that narcissists have that one person that enables them.
And I'm like, I don't know.
For him, you still don't know?
No. Like, family home was not good. And I understand why he is the way that he is because of that. I'm not going to get fully into that. Right. Because he has a sister that does not live that life.
Good.
His life was worse, but there's still, you know, some people go through things and they end up one way or the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And he's just went right into it. Meanwhile, he hates, hate is a strong word, but like that's the word that he uses, his parents, in a sense of like, oh, well, I would never do my kids like this. And I'm like, well, you are the exact same.
Yeah.
But like it's always the victim of like, you're the reason why I'm like this. You made me react like this.
Because you did
you
this
hate this person.
I did that.
Right. You dislike this person so much for what they did to you because they were on drugs while you were growing up, because they left you while you were growing up, because they took this from you. And I'm like, everything that they have done, I can give you an exact example of how you did that too.
Right.
Even though no, it wasn't the same exact, but like you did the same thing.
But I feel like whenever you try to bring that up to them, like they shut you out. Like they don't believe that they don't believe what you're telling them because they're just not that person.
Exactly.
And they just convince themselves. And I'm like, but what I'm trying to tell you is this is my review of you.
Right.
For example, if I were to go on Google and leave a review of McDonald's, how my experience was at so-and-so's relationship, it would be this.
Right.
If you want to continue together, then these are the things that I need to be changed.
Yes.
If you refuse to change these things, then that's it for me.
Period.
What happens is like we were talking about earlier, they'll do it, you're like back into it, and then it's discard again.
Right.
Let's talk about, okay, so you're out. You've been out for a minute now. Really and truly, like raw here, what was the driving force of that? What was it that was like, boom, this is it?
Honestly, it was kind of led by him, and I'm thankful for that. But
how did you accept that though? Because I feel like whenever
I just got tired. Okay.
You didn't care if he had the power.
I say that it was led by him. So he does this thing where it's like, it's really big and has to be really big and really dramatic. And it's like, it's a tactic. It's like a scare tactic.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Yep.
We're never doing this again.
Got it.
I don't love you anymore.
Heard this a million times.
I'm leaving. Okay. At this point, I don't care anymore. I love you as a person. I love you on your good days. There's more bad days than good days.
Yeah.
If that's what you feel like you need to do, then I'm not fighting you. I'm not begging you because I'm begging to be hurt. Like, what are you mad about? Literally, and this is just raw. Like, I don't care. It is what it is. So this is what happened. This was our end. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this was our end. I have a child. We just had a baby. He's about to be 5 months old, and
he's so cute.
Adorable. He's the best thing that ever happened.
He does make good
all
kids.
Of my kids are the best thing that ever happened to me.
I mean, he does make pretty babies.
Yeah, because they're with me. His other kids are cute too. I don't mean that. His other kids are cute too. They're adorable. Yes, his genes play out well on other kids. But I'm like taking care of the kids all day. I'm cooking dinner every day. This is okay. So this is where I got fed up. I feel like in the moment when I'm pregnant, I feel kind of stuck. I feel like I'm viewed as stuck because you're who wants you? You have another kid. Meanwhile, this motherfucker has more kids than me. You're pregnant. Like who would want somebody in this situation kind of thing? And then you're hormonal while you're pregnant and you're trying to make it work because you have a baby on the way. And literally my whole pregnancy, he goes through these things. Okay, so he has addictions. If he is, whenever he's on drugs, I'm like, oh, like if he would just get off of drugs, he would be great. And then I sit there and I make it to where he's clean. I send him off to rehab. I get him on a Vivitrol shot. Like I get him in this situation where he's clean. Well, then his addiction becomes women.
Oh.
So like there's never a time where it's not an addiction. There's always an addiction and I have to pick the lesser of two evils. Okay, so one is hurting me because I'm afraid that you're going to fucking die because you do hard ass shit. Then the other one is, okay, well now you're hurting me mentally. Because now I'm in a mental comparison with all of these random ass bitches.
Oh my gosh, where you're comparing yourself. Yeah.
Right. So I'm sitting here pregnant with my 4th child, and he all of a sudden becomes like addicted to like mariachi music and shit. It's not mariachi music, it's something else. I don't fucking know. But like Peso Pluma, like just all of this like Spanish music. And then all of a sudden, he starts following all of these Hispanic girls on TikTok. And I'm like
local or like whoever
from everywhere. Okay. Like it's not even, and I feel like that would be more like, I feel like I would be more like, okay, well you're following so and so that's local in town and you're messaging this person. Okay, like I feel like that kind of makes more sense than why are you messaging a bitch in California? Like that's just you're just so he's
looking. Like talking to these girls.
Girl, I made 3 fake TikTok profiles and messaged this motherfucker just to see if he would respond, and he did every damn time. I would say like, oh, I'm in Nashville. Hit. Oh, he was working in Monterey with his job. Oh, well, I'm in Monterey. Oh, well, I work in Monterey. We can meet. Oh, okay, bet. I live in fucking California. Oh, well, he's eating that up too. Like, there's no standard with it. It's just female attention. It was just female attention. And I'm like, okay, well, like you're following this girl that doesn't look like me, and you're following like there's a trend here. There's a type here, and I will never fit into that type. It's
Nor
impossible.
Do you want to.
Nor do I want to.
Nor do you want to.
But I'm like, I will never fit into that.
Yeah.
So how is that supposed to make me feel? So then so that was the first thing. And I'm like crying to him. Like, if you don't want to be with me, I would respect you a lot more if you just tell me this. If you need to go, like, I will respect that a lot more than I promise I'm not.
Don't hurt me. Just be honest.
And but then he is. And I'm like, I'm fucking crying to you. And you are lying to me, to my face. And I'm literally messaging you as one of these profiles.
The lying is the worst.
I'm just like, just be real.
Yeah.
If you don't want to just say that, you can go. Don't lie about it.
Right.
What it is we've been doing this for 7 years, and there's so much I could unpack on this one. I've already told you some of the stories.
Yeah.
But what it is with me, there's a home, everything's taken care of. Your dinner's cooked, your clothes are washed.
I was gonna ask you that.
It's
a safety net.
Yes. Yeah. Everything's taken care of. All you have to do is work. You come home and you play video games.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. As to where with everybody else, they can offer you that fun, or they can do the drinking with you, or in his realm of he likes bitches that will do drugs with him.
I've heard that. I've heard that they want to have multiple lives.
And I'm like, it's crazy because like I feel like I can be I am a mother, but I'm also myself, and I can be that too. But that's not what he wanted me to be.
I've never seen you guys out.
No. Because the club is a place for whores. Meanwhile, since we've been broken up, do you know how many times this motherfucker's been in the club? And I'm like,
the club is for whores.
The club is for whores. You know, I'm like, the club is for whores. Like, okay, like, great, got it. So it was like I wasn't allowed to be that. I will not
agree with that statement.
Oh, I'm gonna go to the club and dance all I want to.
So
am I leaving?
Very rarely go out, but that's only because I'm like a grandmother. I'm in bed by like 9. But I have this really amazing group of friends. Shout out to my awesome friends. That we will just like randomly decide we're gonna go do something. Right. We'll end up at Revolver, wherever, somewhere fun. And I don't ever see women our age that are whores.
Right.
Well, I can't say ever.
There's
one or two.
I know some that are older than me, but
there are one or two out there. Shout out Kim Spaghetti. Only my friends will get that joke.
I need the tea on that one. We can talk about it later.
I'll give it to you later. But I think that it's okay to go out and express yourself and have fun, dance, do whatever. You're responsible. You're an adult. Right. You have a babysitter. Your kids are taken care of. Right. The problem with that for him is that he doesn't have that control over you. He doesn't want you to be seen.
Right.
Have you ever seen that Facebook status that says, "I know why my man didn't want me on the streets.
It's fucking fun out here.
Because they love me
out
here.
They love me. They really do.
And the narcissist is always like trying to like box you in.
Right. Because, and tear you down.
Well, because they always choose a strong person.
Right.
They choose, like for me, I'll tell a little bit of my story, is I was a single mom. Mm-hmm. I had my own really nice place. I lived in Crossville. Hated it there.
But it was nice.
Yeah, it was a beautiful place. Beautiful little place in Charleston Plantation. All my friends would come over. We would have parties. We would have a great time. The kids would come and hang out. Anyways, and I had a really good job with a really awful boss. Who ended up sexually assaulting me, actually. So that's quite interesting.
Really awful boss.
Another wonderful trauma situation.
Add it to the bucket.
Yeah. But I'll say this, my life was pretty put together. Mm-hmm. And then I had my own car. I paid my own bills. I've always gotten child support for my son, but it's not very much. And no disrespect to his dad. There's no
I get like a
feelings.
lovely $22 a week.
I do get more than that. But it ain't buying much. Right. It is paying for his lunches.
Right. There you go.
There's that. But anyhow, financially, emotionally, I was in a really good place. I had just got out of another really bad narcissistic relationship. And that's whenever I met my current. And it was during my strongest time that it was the best.
Right.
And then it was little things here and there. It would be, we met in May and we moved in together by July. Mm-hmm. This should have been my first red flag. You ready for it? Mm-hmm. We're at our new house. I'm leaving work. I currently was still working in Crossville. This is before I had to take a lawsuit out against my boss. But I'm working in Crossville, and I came home to his ex-wife inside of our home. We lived over off of Kirby Lane behind Publix, and that's close to here.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she's using our master bathroom for whatever reason, like there's a guest bathroom like right outside of our bedroom door, but she's in our master bathroom and he's outside, and it wasn't anything like that. Like I said, he wasn't much of a cheater.
Right.
But
like, why the fuck is this bitch in my house?
Why is she in our house to begin with? Mm-hmm. And why is she in our bedroom?
Right.
So the boundaries were just non-existent, and that should have been my first really red flag. Like,
it's so easy like to look back and be like, what the fuck? So sorry. Reason why we broke up. Go back.
Yeah.
Reason why I have ADHD. We're gonna jump around a lot. Reason why we broke up. I'm taking care of everything. I'm taking care of the kids. I literally he's comes home. He's playing video games all fucking day. Because if you work, you don't need to help with a kid, right? Because you're working. Meanwhile, I'm not working, but I'm still paying my bills.
Right.
I'm still paying my bills. So I feel like it doesn't matter. Like, my shit's covered. You're not having to do anything extra.
Right.
Whatever. So it's like, oh, well, I work a hard job. I'm sorry, you're a fucking felon, and that's the only job that was open to you. That's not my fucking fault.
No.
Do better. Anyways, no hate on the felons. I understand people make mistakes, but like, if you get yourself in a situation and this is what you have to do, it's not somebody else's fault because you live a harder life on some shit that you did yourself. It's not like I contributed to that. So, anyways, I'm like, to a point where I'm like, I can't even take a shower because I'll be like, oh, can you watch the kids so I can take a shower? And he's like, oh, well, I was about to go to sleep. And I'm like, meanwhile,
you about to watch your kids.
But then he stays up and still playing video games. And I'm like, I haven't taken a shower. So anyways, our big thing, I take a shower for like the first time in days.
Don't say.
Right. In days.
Don't tell us.
In fucking days. And I smell like baby vomit and sweat. I'm hormones, you sweat more after you have it. Like, I finally get a good shower, not because he was home, but because I asked his daughter to watch the baby so I could take a decent fucking shower.
Yeah.
So I do. I get my shower, and he sees me after, and I'm like getting dressed, and he's like, "Oh, you want to have a quickie?"
Of course.
And I said,
like, no,
no,
you
not
didn't
really.
contribute to the shower.
I said, no, not really. I just took a shower. I smell good.
They don't get that. They think that because you're clean, like, now's the time to play.
Right,
like,
this is the best time. I'm
no,
like,
this
maybe
is
I
the
just
time I
want to
be
be
clean.
Because are you gonna watch the kid after so I can take another fucking shower?
Yeah.
No, I don't. And like, I'm not.
And you're a shower queen because
like,
we've cleaned your house and you've got all the shower gels.
all of my
you
stuff.
Love the shower.
I love all
this
of my
is
body
like
care.
Your reset.
Right.
For me, mine is like deep cleaning my house. For you, yours is taking a good long shower with all your things.
Everything shower, body scrub,
everybody
oils,
has
everything.
Their thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like to feel fresh. And so I'm like, no, not really. Automatic. Fuck you. I'm done. I don't want to be with you. You're fucking somebody else. You're sleeping with somebody. And I'm like, no, like I really just don't feel like smelling like all of the things that come along with having a quickie. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just don't want to do that. And it was automatic. So like me being me, I then turn around and send a message because he's outside. He's pissed off. He's working on his truck. Yeah. Still didn't watch his fucking kid. Went outside to fuck with the truck. And I say, look, I love you. I just want to give you some reassurance there. There's nothing happening. I just haven't taken a shower in this many days and I feel clean. And if we do this, this is what's going to happen. And I'm not going to get another shower. And I just need a moment of just like feeling like a human.
Thank God my kids are grown.
And that wasn't accepted. Like, it was just automatic. So I was like, you know what? Actually, fuck this. Like, you're not helping me in any way. Like, it was just little basic complaints. Like,
it's like, why are you even here?
Right. Like, you're not helping me in any way. You're another. And you know what's crazy? Now that, like, we've broken up and we separated, one day I forgot to take out the trash. I forgot to take out the trash on a Tuesday morning. That's when the trash runs. And I said, damn, that is the only thing that has changed. That is the only thing. That was the only thing
for me. There was nothing.
I forgot to take out my trash.
In 5 years, I've lived on my own 4 times.
See, about 4 times. Yeah,
I've had my own place.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? I was like telling somebody the other day. They're like, "How long have you lived on your own?" I'm like, "Well, pretty much the whole time."
Right. Yeah, ours would be like he would be with me for like 2 weeks, and then he would go back to his dad's, and he'd be with me, and then he'd go back to his dad's, or he'd be with me, and then he'd go to this bitch and this bitch.
That's the part that was harder for me. Mine was successful. I actually had a girl ask me the other day, and it really pissed me off, just to be quite frank. She said, "Hey, Ashley, so like, I say the other day, it's been a hot minute,
right?"
But she was like, "If you were to really cut it off with him, how would you survive?" And I was like,
bitch,
do you know me?
Right.
Like, and this girl's known me for a long time. So it was like a very shocking question. And I was like, first of all, I've paid my own bills since 2020. I mean, before that, but we've been together since 2020.
Right.
I've paid my own bills. I didn't pay the rent when we lived together, but I contributed with groceries.
Right.
At the time, I did get some state assistance, so that was in place, and that'll be thrown in your face. Like,
oh,
it was Biden at the time, you know, Biden's dollars.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I contributed with groceries. I contributed with keeping the house spotless. Anybody that ever came to Kirby Lane can tell you our house was like top notch. We had all brand new furniture. I took very good care of our stuff. So, anyways, where was I going with that? Oh,
how would you survive without him?
So, I always kept everything going, and always had to take care of my own stuff. So I feel like I was going somewhere with that though, but I lost track.
But like, what do you need him for? Like, do you really think that I am who I am because of him? You said that he was successful.
Oh yeah, him being successful. So he would always like hold that over my head. Once I left the boss that sexually assaulted me, who later lost a lawsuit against me.
Period.
Shout out.
Clock it.
He I went to work for his company. It's still very hard for me to talk about working for his company because there was a person that I was really close with that it caused a lot of issues in our relationship. And I see him and he's successful now, so that's good. But working with him was the icing on the cake for the beginning of our problems. I had to start recording conversations because I was like, he would be like, I never said that. So I would have to start recording conversations.
Or my favorite is, well, when did I say that? So you want me to tell you the exact day and time? Like, that's how I'm supposed to.
Well,
who works like that?
Yeah, well, voice record on iPhone does, because I had to start doing this, and I'm not going to show this to everybody else.
Right. Oh my God.
This is just 2023. I'm going to try to go back and show you from the beginning. Okay. 2020. There we go.
Right.
So this is the very first one, was in 2021, and I was like, I have been working there for 3-4 months, and argument happens. I come in, or he comes in, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna record this. And that's whenever I knew. So to say all that, to say this, I really started realizing that me helping was not benefiting him emotionally or physically or any of that. And it was benefiting me financially, because I was still getting a paycheck. And at that time I was doing some dental work. I had some really bad dental issues that I was working through. And so it helped me get through that. Thank God for that. And then I decided at that point I needed to start saving my money, because I knew it was time for me to get my own place.
Yeah.
So in February, March is actually when A Perfect Clean was born, because I left and spent every dime that I had to move into this apartment in Livingston, which was, I decided to go far away because I thought it would be beneficial. And I had $100 left over. So I was like, what am I going to do for work? I had no car. Luckily, my dad and mom had this old white truck that I ended up getting a Maddie at one point. That they let me borrow. It didn't have AC. It's in the middle of the summer at this point. I have $100. I guess it was later on, and I'm lying to you. It wasn't February, March. It was probably like April, May, June, because it was warm out. But anyways, I borrowed a vehicle, and I took my $100 and bought a mop and some cleaners, and was like, $60 basic cleans, baby. Who's ready? Period. Because somebody said to me, they're like, well, what are you good at? And I'm like, stressing and cleaning. And I cleaned to mask my emotions for so long at Kirby that I was like, I could do this for a living.
Right.
So got me there. And then it was my first place. And then after that, I went back and went back and went back and went back and went back. So that's where the headline 50 times the charm, right? Because I kept going back. I can't say that I'm out even. Right. And every day I'm like, today's the day.
Well, I say like I'm out, but like I feel like when you have kids involved, you're never really fucking out, especially when you come from a place like me where I'm like,
you want him to be a part of your kid's life.
I feel like that's what makes me, like, whenever he is he's a good dad.
When he's good, he's good.
Fucking great. He's a good
Love
dad.
That statement.
And I say that in a sense of like, he's not a great dad, like making sure that their lunch is packed or their diapers changed or that they've been fed or that they're going to doctor's appointments. Like, I handle all of that. Yeah. He's a good dad and like, hey, come and play outside. Here, I'll help you ride your bike. Yeah. I don't really know if that's being like a good dad, but like.
So you came into the relationship with just one kid?
Yeah.
Okay. And he had how many?
He already had 3 kids, but he did not have custody of those kids.
Of course not. Yeah.
Right.
So I came into my relationship with 2 kids. I love my kids. My relationship might be harsh with my children at times, but it's because I love them and I want them to be the best version of themselves. I'll just say that, because hopefully let that be heard.
Right.
So anyhow, I came into the relationship with 2 kids, and my daughter actually did not live with me whenever I moved in. She was living with her dad and her stepmom. Her step siblings and her were really close at that time, so she was spending a lot of time there. And so I had a son, and I really never expected him to do anything for my kids. Right. Did you ever have help with your child from him?
He did. Like, whenever I had Kaisley at first, like, he would, like, if I was out on diapers, he'd be like, oh, okay, I'll stop and pick up some diapers.
Yeah.
Okay. But like, we're also coming from a place of like, I had my own place. He did not have his own place. Like, I didn't have my own vehicle.
But like, physically, was he like involved?
He was good. Like, he would play with her. We would go to parks. He would play with her. He would provide diapers if I needed diapers, or he would get us food. But that was also like, it was a 2-way street, because he would also like get to see his kid, and like in that moment I was doing things as well, so it was a trade-off. But like, and that was good. And then the next week he would be talking to some random female or sleeping with some random female.
I'm so glad that
or riding around
happened
town with
for
a random
me.
female. Like, yeah,
mine really was like the other males.
yeah,
his guy friends was a huge issue, and people are like, well, why were you insecure about him having friends? Like, don't get that twisted.
right.
I think everybody should have friends,
Right.
but there's a time for friends and there's a time for family,
Right. And you need to separate them.
And again, back to that smoking, that was a big one for me, because it was always, well, so and so's just gonna stop by, we're gonna smoke a blunt together, and then 4 hours later so and so's still in the garage, and I'm like, are you coming inside?
Yeah,
or
like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Like, all of his friends were friends that he should have in his life, but like, it was more than smoking weed. But
yeah,
and,
and are they good examples, like,
for the life that we're trying to live?
Right, because they're still here, but yet, like, why are they not home with their family?
Right.
Like,
what do they got going on?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, well, none of your friends have their kids, all of your friends are on drugs, none of them have good relationships, and these are the people that you're prioritizing in your life. So
everybody was people that worked for our company too, which was kind of like, we really shouldn't be, what is the word, fraternizing with the people that we
that we're employing.
Yeah, like, I mean, you worked for my company. How many times did we like kick it while you worked for me?
None. We're good after.
Yeah, before, I mean,
but like, business is business.
Business is business, and I felt like, and it cost us a lot of people in our business, because being friends with people that work for you, it can't be good.
Right.
You can be respectful. You can like know that you're cool with each other.
Just even in working in that job, being friends with people that are in higher positions of you, and like,
never works out.
Yeah, like, we're good separated, but in that moment, because it's really hard to like, okay, well, now I need to do this, and like, you take it kind of personally.
Yeah, because
like, you're
whenever
my friend.
when I'm just using a name, when Sherry calls and says, well, I don't like the way that Tyra did this, that, or the other, me coming to you as a friend, I gotta be like, girl, listen, and that puts that strain on our relationship. But me coming to you as a boss, like, Tyra, this is unacceptable, this needs to be fixed, there's a difference. So I never like really liked doing that with people that we employed. And we didn't run a little tiny business. Like, both of our businesses are fairly large. Were fairly large. Mine currently still is. But period. I talk shit.
I love it. We're here for it. This is what we do.
So that was an issue, was the guys, and then it was the leaving and turning off the phone, ignoring me, not answering, not coming home.
It died. Okay.
Not coming home, blocking me, and then expecting me to just be sitting there with my little nightie in the bed, ready for you.
You're home.
Yay!
Hi, sweetie.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No, I'm talking about, where have you been? I'm coming out the front door.
Yeah, I'm driving around town looking for you. And let me pull up and see you with another bitch.
Anybody that knows me is gonna laugh at that, because they're like, girl, you was not at home, you was out there, you was chasing them down the street. Don't even lie,
girl. I would say one time, I remember one time we was both going in reverse on the highway at 2 o'clock in the morning. One time I drove my car into a ditch trying to we're not gonna talk about that one.
I could tell you stories for days.
I had to get towed out.
This is where I remember you. She posted about.
I was like, 911, 911. I'm hanging off a cliff. It wasn't a cliff.
It was just a ditch. Yeah, your mom told that story. What's funny about that is that's the part where we probably should skip, because we're business owners. But girl, been there.
Yeah,
been there. Talking about hit 40 going 120.
Girl,
whatever need to happen.
It is what it is.
So
I gotta let you know. I gotta let you know we can't play with me.
Back on track. I'm talking about I'm checking location and screenshotting, just in case in the future I need to go there. I'm going through the screenshots to find the location to drop off.
Like, I remember we passed by this house one time. Why? Yeah, I get that.
So I would even call friends and be like, you know, is so and so there? And you know, God, like, looking back, I'm like,
it's so embarrassing.
It is.
So embarrassing.
It's so sad, because literally all I wanted was the same thing you wanted, was to be a family, to be loved, to be accepted for who I am,
to be a decent human being to me,
be a good person to me.
I shouldn't have to coach you on how to be a good person to somebody that you love.
And when I tell you I don't like the color blue, then don't get me the color blue. Like, it's simple, and I say that as like an overall
it's really
statement.
Decent. It's really easy, and that might. So some people may take that as like, oh, well, you should be grateful for anything.
No.
But if I'm sitting here and listening, mine was birthdays and like big events. if it was a big event coming up for his birthday, I'm going all out. I'm renting this place. I'm getting you this. I'm making you this. I'm taking you here.
But your birthday is...
My birthday, we're going to argue at least 3 times. It's going to be probably an argument all day.
Have you read about that, though? That's common in a narcissistic relationship.
Common,
yeah.
Because the attention's not on them.
Well, because they want to make your day
not yours.
About them. Yeah. It's about them, not you.
And it literally would be like, I remember one year we argued all day.
This is kind of triggering.
It really is. We argued all fucking day.
Yeah.
And then I get off work at like 7 and we're going to Nashville. We argue from like 8 a.m. to like 6:30. And then he's like, I brought you a bottle of champagne to pop because you never popped a bottle of champagne before. And I'm like, and like they just expect you just to turn it off.
What about
and go about your day?
What about Valentine's Day? How do you feel about Valentine's Day? Do you hate it?
One time on Valentine's Day, we were both broke, and he was like, don't worry about getting anything for Valentine's Day. I'm like, okay. He goes to his mom's house. He borrows $10. He gets me a rose from the gas station, like a fake rose, and like a donut, and gives it to me, and was mad at me because I didn't have anything for him for Valentine's Day. He leaves work to go hang out with another bitch because I didn't do anything for him for Valentine's Day.
No.
You're the one who said we wasn't doing gifts.
No, it wasn't about the gift. Looking back at that, you need to see that it was about the he needed to take a fight to have an out.
He needed an
out. I love that. When I look back, sometimes I'm like, ooh, that was the time for him to get an out.
Yes.
Okay. So let's ask. Be raw and real.
Okay.
Be real.
Always.
When the relationship was bad and you were realizing that you were going to be out, did you ever use those same tactics to get what you wanted?
To get an out?
Yep. Like to go somewhere that you wanted to go?
No.
I got smart.
No, I didn't do that because I was scared.
What were you scared of?
Physical? Of him.
Physical?
Yeah. I was scared of like, okay, like if I do this, so like we live in the same home. We have these kids. So if I have them.
That's the difference. So y'all lived in the same home.
Yeah, like if I have him, like if he's out or like if he's there and I have the kids go somewhere and then like I leave.
Yeah.
All hell's about to break loose. So we broke up. And even doing that, broken up, how many times has he broken into my house and destroyed my things? And he doesn't. So like if he does that when he's not there.
And there's no repercussions. That's a whole nother thing we wanted to get into today. I wanted to at least.
We're gonna have to do multiple segments.
We are.
It's been 47
I feel like we're gonna have to come back.
We're gonna have to do a part 2. Because we're just this is the first layer.
Because where are the people that are gonna protect us? Because let me tell you what happens. Girl, I'm about to get on a whole soapbox.
Tell me why. I will say it. I'll say it. Because I know yours is different. But I will say it. I went to the police and I said, I have these voicemails. Let me play them for you. Where he says, I'll peel your head back too. You better not have your boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. You better not have your boyfriend try to save you because I'm going to get him first. So, okay, so he's saying,
he's threatening you. He's threatening
somebody else. I'm going to get them first. So that means you plan on getting me second. And they said, I just don't think that's enough to get an order of protection because he doesn't just plain out say what he's going to do. Okay,
where's our protection?
I'm sorry you're not good with like the whole hood lingo and shit, but he said he was going to peel his head back. That is killing him. Peeling somebody's head back, like that's doing something. That's something physical. You're hurting them. Like I don't want my head peeled back. So like, okay, well he's a felon. He has these guns. I can tell you exactly where these guns are. You see that he already has a domestic violence case against me 2 years ago. He has assault on a police officer 3 years before that. You see that he has all of these drug charges. You can hear in this video what he's saying to me, what he's telling me. That's not enough proof. Okay, and a restraining order is basically not shit, but I have to hire a lawyer to do that. So I'm raising 5 kids.
You have to hire a lawyer to get a restraining order?
Yes.
Since when?
I guess since 2025 at least.
I thought you could just go to the
No, you had to get your own private person to get a restraining order.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So we're just removing all the protection at this point.
So
if you can't afford an attorney, then you can't get an OP?
So I ended up having to go to a place here in town. Just so y'all know, if you ever need it, it's called the Family Justice Center. It is right across from like Secura, like in that little area before that church. I had to go there and I told them everything that I told the police, and they said, "Oh, this is definitely grounds for order of protection."
There's a place in Crossville as well.
And they
my
gave
friend
it to
Jamie
me.
Used to work
right
there.
then. It was a temporary one, but it started right then.
Temporary that starts immediately. Then he gets served, and then you guys go to court. And then the judge decides whether or not keep it. Have you been to court?
Yes.
And they kept it?
The judge looked at it. He said, hey, do you want to, the judge asked me, do you want to keep this? Me being nice, I said, yes, I would love to keep it, but I want to modify it to where he is able to communicate about the kids. He can FaceTime for the kids and where he can see the kids if he is clean.
Is he strict within those bounds at this point?
That's all. It's all peaceful communication. If he messes up that peaceful communication, he goes to jail.
Oh,
if he breaks into my house again, he goes to jail.
I've heard of that peaceful communication.
Yeah, it's not that fucking peaceful when you're dealing with a narcissist. So if you catch a mugshot,
we'll frame them beside each other.
Just know.
We'll put them side by side. We'll put them side by side.
Oh, girl. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's where I could go with this, because it's like, so what happens whenever you're finally fed up with the constant abuse, the emotional abuse?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a drug in itself. It's an adrenaline rush, and you get tied to that adrenaline. It is most.
And then what happens when you flip out? I'll tell you what happens when you flip out. You get a mugshot.
Yeah. Way before they ever do.
But you know what? Then once you have that mugshot, it's, oh, well, she's crazy.
Yeah.
She beats
It justifies everything for them.
I love it whenever they go to court too, because, you know, there's a victim's advocate. Love them. Love them. We won't dive too deep into this, because this could be a whole nother conversation, because I really think we should talk about the judicial system here in Putnam County and whenever, and what is in place for, I think there should be somebody like us that can lead people how to get out and how to protect themselves from a mugshot.
Right.
Because when you try to get out and you catch yourself a mugshot, you're not always in the wrong. And I'm going to tell you what, you're not always in the wrong.
Enough is enough.
But you're not always in the right either.
Right.
So, but
that's my thing. I was like, I have to get this order of protection, because if I go and handle it how Tyra in 2018 would have handled it.
Well, the positive side to an order of protection is that it's not you. It's against him. Like, you can still.
Technically, yeah.
You can still, but you don't want to.
You don't.
Once you've gotten that,
I'm just over it. Like, I'm just like, let's be peaceful. Like, in the perfect world, I would love if we could co-parent. You could be a good human being. You could be a good dad. We could even be chill. Hey, the kids are out of this. Oh, hey, dude, do you need toilet paper?
That's how I co-parent.
You know, like, we could be very fucking chill, but still live separate lives. I won't do anything dirty in front of your face. Don't do anything dirty in front of my face. If we need each other, we're cool.
I love that we have separate dynamics, because I have no children with mine. You have children with yours. Yours was cheating and physical, and mine was not. Mine was emotional damage. Mine was so much more emotional than it was physical. So I love that we have different dynamics on that, because I feel like we'll really be able to dive into the differences of our situations.
But like, it's still
people say, well, girl, you don't have no kids with him. And
what's the tie?
What's the tie?
Yeah.
Well, that's called a trauma bond.
Yeah, very much.
It's called that.
So bad. High. I've messaged a girl, and you're on my Facebook if you watch this. I've literally messaged a girl before, and she was doing like, like, I don't want to say voodoo type stuff, but I was just like, hey, can you like light the string and like on the candles and like make it burn off and like just, I need that string. And she's like, well, y'all have kids together, like it could cause like, it could go bad too. And I was like, okay, well, thank you, but like, shit, I might chance it at this point.
I might take my chances.
I might chance it at this point, because God, like,
I remember many times crying and just being like, this has to give. But it's funny because I constantly see my growth. I actually just had a girlfriend of mine tell me yesterday, you're one of the smartest girls I know. You're one of the strongest girls. Well, first of all, I don't want to be the strongest girl, you know, but I am.
Period.
You know, I don't want that, but I am, and I appreciate that. I respect that, but I never wanted to be strong.
Yep. That's right. In life. I'm like, I want to be soft.
I saw your video the other day. Like, yes, I want to be soft too. Like, I'm okay with having my own business and bringing in a supplemental income, but I never wanted this business to like provide for my life. Right. Thank God that it does. And I'm so thankful for everybody that, you know, supports A Perfect Clean and me and my son. Right. And my daughter, because in a way, you know, it may not benefit her anymore because she's kind of grown it on her own, but it benefited her. There was a time. Yeah. And I'm thankful. There were times that I would literally, okay, I'm back to what I was going to say. She said, you're one of the strongest people that I know. You're one of the smartest people I know. But for some reason, it's like, you can't stop with this. You know what you're doing is messing you up mentally, and you still pick up that phone and make that phone call. And I will literally I'll be in the act, Tyra. Like, I'm picking up the phone, and the whole time I'm thinking, this is stupid. Why am I fucking doing this? This is dumb. you're retarded. Stop doing this to yourself. But as soon as if I'm ignored, then I want to dial again.
Right.
Again.
Right.
Again.
Because what are you doing that's so important that you can't answer my call when I call you?
Well, now it's become I need that dopamine high. I need that heroin. I need that. I think
my biggest thing was I get nervous because of the drug of choice.
I get nervous because of the abuse and the political, or not the political, the judicial side of things. I get nervous. I'm like, oh God, is he back at the police station?
Right. Is he
making up another lie?
Right.
Convincing the people at the cop or, the police station that I've done this, that, or the other?
Right.
Because it worked last time.
Right.
I literally would get to the point that I would go to bed at night and I would hear a noise. And because, all of that happened at my house late at night, I would jump up and look out the window.
Right. I literally slept on the couch. I was talking to my friend and she was like, why do you keep sleeping on the couch? I'm like, because my house keeps getting broken into. Like, I don't know if he's just going to like show up and try to come in.
Choke you out while you're sleeping.
But he did that before. Like whenever I moved and got my own apartment, like my back door had a code and he knew the code. And he would just come in randomly, have a gun on his hip, have a gun in his hand. Just randomly come in like, who's in here? Like, so I'm like, your kids are in the bed. I'm asleep. He's like looking through like my bathroom. Like no, they hid. And I'm like, no, like how would I know that he was coming through my back door?
What's so funny is you say your bathroom again, and I love that he constantly chooses your shower products to toss out whenever, because again, that's your thing.
Because you can't smell good for somebody else.
That's
I'm
right.
like, that's how you know.
That's how you know you smell good.
And that's the one thing that you go for.
Yeah,
like that and my panties.
So weird.
Sir,
I don't wear panties, so
I'm like, okay, like you cut them, so now they have easier access.
So now I just don't wear them. That's what you just tell them. Be like, I'm just not going to wear panties anymore.
Like, the fuck?
It's so that way when you come over next time, you don't have to cut my panties because I don't even wear them.
I'm not even wearing them anymore, bro. Like, girl.
So how did you, okay, so I guess my question was like, how are you staying out of it this time? Because of the OP?
That helps. I feel like that set I was trying to get a point across, like, hey, we're not going to keep
doing this. Because I feel like girls that are like really into it would even just like be like, screw this OP.
Right. Yeah. For me, it's more so of my kids.
Yeah.
They
have seen.
Whenever he broke my stuff, now if you say something about like, if I say like literally like, oh, this broke, like my kid's like, oh, my daddy broke this. My daddy broke this in my mom's. My daddy did this. And I told him, like, if your kids have a bad idea of you, a bad image of you, because like what I say on here, that's not said to my kids or around my kids.
Sure.
In their opinion, their daddy hung the fucking moon. He hung the moon, the stars, everything. He's the best guy on this earth. And I want them to stay like that. And if that gets fucked
innocence,
up, yes, if
that's
that
because
gets fucked
of you,
up, it's on him.
Yeah.
And I said, your kid saying this, I didn't say, oh, your daddy broke this. We walked in and we saw this together. They knew who did it. That's on you. Just seeing things like my kid's perceptions of how can I tell my kid whenever she gets mad that she can't yell? Yeah. When she sees is this person getting mad and yelling.
How can you tell your child, or not even just cuss, how can you teach your child how to love when they don't see love?
Right. Like, I don't want them to think that this is normal, that this is what it's supposed to be. They were playing dolls at my mom's house, and this is actually really sad, but they were playing dolls at my mom's house. And one of them was the dad, and he was like saying something mean to the mom and left. And like, she didn't tell me for like a while, and then she was like, hey, like, I just want to let you know this happened just in case they play in front of somebody else. So like, I don't want my kids to feel like that is the norm. And that was a big thing when I left Kaisley's dad too. Like, she would be so zoned out to watching, like she would be watching TV and he would be yelling, acting crazy. And like, his mom and my mom were over there one time when he was doing it because he was having like a fucking episode, and like she's just sitting there like watching TV, and they're like, she doesn't even like realize, like,
she doesn't respond that danger is even happening around
right
her
because it's so normal. And I was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. And then I realized that like, okay, like it's happening again, and I'm not fucking doing that again.
Yeah,
they're older now, they realize now, and that's not okay.
So one of the biggest things is for me is I always wanted to leave for my children in even my past relationships, people that I've dated that were awful, but I wanted to protect my children from everything. So I try to keep it all from them. This has probably been the most public to them just because they're older.
Right.
But what these kids don't realize is that we didn't want to be in this either.
Right.
It's not like we were like, we're going to ruin our children's life.
And like, it's like, I feel like I stayed for my kids, but I also left for my kids. So I was like, I'm staying, trying to give them this life. And I was like, okay, well, that's not happening. And it's actually just getting worse. So like, okay, well, I also need to leave for them too. Yeah. And it is hard because then, like you have your own selfishness in it. And like, I feel like another reason why I stayed was trying to prove myself. Like, you say that you love me, and I feel like I'm worth getting this love. So I'm trying to prove, like, I'm better than this girl. I'm better than this. Like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this for you. I'm loving you. You never received this love as a child. You never got these birthday parties as a child. I'm giving them to you. I'm doing this for you. Why are you not loving me in return? Yeah. Well, I'm just a fucked up person. I just don't know how to do it. Okay, well, it's okay. I can fix you. Yeah. I can show you how to do it.
Then you feel that empathy for them because you're an empathetic person. Most narcissists choose a very empathetic person. Right. Yeah, you stay for your kids and you leave for your kids. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, I've experienced some hardships with my children. I won't say children. One of my children recently because of me staying and leaving. Right. And that's hard for me because it's like, oh, I did this to try to help us. I did this to try to give you a better life. And now you're mad at me for both ways. Yeah. And that's difficult, this is not an easy subject for me to talk about, but it's a needed subject because there's so many of us women that are strong, business owners, mothers, friends. I mean, we're all the things, and we are caught up in this cycle. And I kind of
just want to how strong you have to fucking be caught up in that cycle and separate it for your business. And
do you know how hard it is? I mean, you do. You're not all the way out because you have children, but do you know how hard it is to leave when you don't have, like, I almost feel like when you have kids, you have like that little bit of tie to them forever. Right.
How do you really cut that all the way off?
Yeah. How do you?
And how do you deal with cutting that all the way off? Because no matter what, I feel like whenever you have that separation, it's very easy to forget. I forgive and I forget. And I feel like I get so numb to it. Like, it'll happen.
You come back to it.
I'm mad in that moment. I'm like, blah, like I could freak out. But then, like, if you give me like 3 days, then I forget that. I survive off of adrenaline and off of anger. Yeah. And when that's gone, how do you everything feel? Else is gone. And then I'm like, oh, well, I miss. Yep. I forget that. I forget the bad. I forget what I just felt. I forget.
Okay, so that's where people are like, why did you record so many?
I need to remember.
I would forget it.
Mine is like, I'm going back through these messages, and now I have these voicemails, and I'm like, oh, like, I can. And then you have these kids that are with me. I have these kids that I miss my dad. Like, every time my kid gets mad, is I want my daddy. And I'm like,
trust me, baby. I wish I could send you your daddy. Yeah.
Mad. I'm like, well, he's not here. You know, like, okay, well, that was mean of me. I shouldn't have said that. But like, I'm the one doing everything. I'm the one that's always been doing everything. You're just mad. And so you need to be mad.
I love that you said that. Like, you get mad, you have all these horrible feelings, and then a few days go by, you're kind of chill now, and then you're like, they call and they're like, hey, how was your day? Would you like to grab something to eat? Right. And then it's right back into it.
It's really hard to say no. It's really hard to keep that about you.
Because you love them.
I've changed my like wallpaper to literally being like, this is what like a memory board, so like funny. A dream board. I've made that like as my wallpaper, so like I remember. And like I might need to make another one of like screenshots of like the bad things like on the phone, so every time you look at it, you just have a reminder.
It's so weird because like I've even thought about putting sticky notes around my house, but I don't even want my son to see it. Right. But it's like I want to put up things that like the negative things that have been said about me to remind myself to not answer. I mean, I even changed the name of my phone to do not answer. Literally. And I'm still answering. Yeah. You feel me?
Whatever.
And people are like, oh, I love it when they say, well, if it's that bad, then why do you still spend time with them?
Yeah, I would have just left, but I'm like, I love that you are it's just so easy for you.
Please,
it's not.
Please come on this podcast and help us if that's you.
Let me know.
Because we will sit down with you and
let me know how that's just so easy for you. And I do have a friend, and you know who you are. I hope you should know who you are. Like, it was her own mother, and she was just like, bye.
So, okay.
Family members, bye.
I'm okay with that.
She did it with her husband. She left her husband bye. Like, it was nothing. Like, she cut stuff off so easy, and I'm like,
girl,
you may need therapy.
Yeah, no.
How can you do that so easily?
What's crazy about that is my closest family will say, you have cut off. I cut off a best friend of 17 years, girl.
And I do
like
that with people like it's nothing.
Like that.
Yeah.
There's people that I've been friends out. You probably friends with them on Facebook.
Girl.
Hey, I don't miss you.
No, my mom is. She'll say the same thing. Like I'm like,
and never speak again.
If we got beef, it's up.
My friend Heather, shout out to Wigs for Every Woman here in Crossville. My halo comes from there.
Period.
Heather,
looking nice by the way.
Thank you.
It's blended so well.
Heather is a life coach, and she's a hot mess express too. Love her. But anyhow, she said to me something the other day that made me realize I always forget what I'm about to say.
I do the same thing. We were talking about.
She said, "Don't burn your bridges," and I'm like, "Girl, I am the queen of the lighter."
Gasoline, yes. The match, I have it all. And who needs a fucking fire extinguisher? Who needs fucking water? I saw a girl the other day at a basketball game that she slept with my first baby daddy 8 years ago. 8 years ago.
You told me the story.
8 years ago. No, this is a different one.
Okay.
This is a different one. 8 years ago. And I was like, look at that bitch. And my mom's like, bro, like that was 8 years ago. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
Fuck you. You know what you did. Yes, me and him were broken up, but like that was still
disrespectful.
Still hurt me.
You
know, me and you were cool.
Yes.
You knew he was my baby daddy. You moved funny. Fuck that.
Yeah.
If it's up, it's stuck. We have beef forever. Like
until you come to me, like I said, until you come to me and be like, all right, I want to squash this.
Then
let's
we can
talk about it.
And I might be like, I have this one girl, like she didn't even do anything that dramatic to me, but every time I see her, she apologizes, and she's on my Facebook. But every time she sees me, she apologizes, and I'm like, it's okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Do you mean it?
Yeah, I'm like, I forgive you. I have no hatred towards you, but like,
I don't want to move with you no more.
Like, we're just not gonna be cool. Like, I don't feel like talking to you. I don't feel like holding conversations with you. Like, I wish you the best.
Yeah, I don't wish anything bad against you. I'm just not trying to move with you.
Right, like I just don't want to be in your life, and that's fine. We were never close to begin with. So then when something happened, like I had nothing to even look back on and be like, oh, well, this was a good valuable moment.
I don't look back, and that's what's so crazy. It's like friendships, relationships outside of this narcissistic relationship, I can be like, peace.
Yeah.
And never look back.
Peace out.
I've never talked to my best friend again after 17 years of friendship. She came at me sideways about a man she got back with. Narcissistic.
Right.
And you know, I done.
Yeah.
Done.
That's what it is.
And like I just can't seem to do that. So your friend that can do it, you know,
big ups to you, girl.
You're right. She probably does need therapy.
I know.
But
I
I'm
don't
jealous.
think that's healthy either.
But I'm jealous of her. You know what I'm saying? I'm jealous that she has that self-discipline. That's the word.
Yeah.
Self-discipline.
Well,
yeah,
we're gonna have to cut this in.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to.
We gotta go to work.
We have a lot more to discuss because we had like little segments.
We're gonna have to come back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to revisit this. So part 1.
Yeah.
Of 50th Times the Charm.
Right?
No.
Bye, y'all.
We'll let you know when we figure it out.